Gentlemen, welcome back to the frozen wasteland of Hoth. Fuck.
Warning. The following program contains a Canadian redneck who doesn't quite know what he's doing, coarse language, and mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Birds nested all the shit. How did the picking my thing?
For the sky!
Shifter. Probably works. Contact. Hashtag nailed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It's fantastic to have you here again, as ever. Today, we've got some special things, some big things happening. We're going to be playing with some steel, doing some welding on the Daytona. Hopefully we can get the floors done. Don't know if we're going to be able to do it, but we're going to give it our all. We're going to have some fun. First part, we're going to do some prep work. Let's get right to it.
Parts everywhere. But this week just might be a vehicle for two. Friggin' rights. Like, let's see. We've just vinyl dyed all these pieces that I had, these extra pieces. They were gray. Well, you can see that one. It looks, that's just impressions in the felt there. These were gray, but I used duplicolor vinyl dye. Same thing I use on my Nerf guns. Same with this center console, just finished doing that up. I'll move. Whoopsie doodle. One-handed, not great. Anyways, that's the color it was, just for a reference. And stick that back in there. Get out of here, tuft. Anyways, and yeah, this stuff is great. Like, it's dry, and hands are no dirtier than they already were. So that's pretty sweet. Parts everywhere. Parts. More parts. Dash parts. Oh god, there's more parts. And cardboard. But yeah, there ain't a lot to it right now. Pretty much just a driver's seat. This car is death proof, but you got to be outside the car. Yeah, lots of wiring to figure out in here and fix up on account of you can tell, friggin' stereo is doing other things. Got a new steering wheel. Well, new to me, but that's not on the priority. Priority is finish welding the floor here, finish welding floor in the trunk. You can see it. There's a hole right there. So that'll be the project for this week, but it's pretty late. Gotta, hit the shower, hit the bed, and my better 3/4 is beckoning me to come in, saying she misses me and all that stuff. So yeah. Competition series. Alright, so unlike the driver's side, where I just cut out a big hole and patched it in as one piece, we've got fuel lines that run under here. And when I was putting this piece in, cutting it out, I already cut the fuel lines, so I had to chop those down and put in some nice brass crimp connectors. And yeah, there's a couple things that run under here, like some brake lines, some fuel lines. So cutting out the whole thing, not the best idea. So what I did was I tacked all the little wee tilly bitty holes, and now over for the big stuff, what I'm gonna do is lay a nice piece down. This is CAD, cardboard aided design. So I'm gonna lay this down, approximate my length. I'm gonna cut it a little bit bigger than I need. Then I'm gonna trace that out on a piece of sheet, And then I'm going to take that sheet, because we have a bend here, we got a swoop, and then we've got a 90. So yeah, it's like a quarter pipe right here, you know, freaking woo, kickflip, woo. Okay, anyways, but yeah. So since I built up all the really, really weak spots, like all this, well, except for this one, obviously, I'll probably get just a little piece to patch that in there, cut that out. Regardless, the next big plan, once I get like I said, I'm almost pretty much done all the little stuff. These were the worst holes that you could really see through, and I'm just gonna get rid of this because who the fuck needs that? Yeah, so all the worst of it is pretty much done. Like I said, put a piece down, and then use the since the sheet metal is already so thin to begin with, never mind the parts that are rusted through, like in here. As soon as I start tacking on, even on the lowest setting on my Lincoln here, it just blew holes, just pretty much like that. So yeah, so I'm gonna use the parts where I've got the bead. Don't mind the super shitty welding, like it's what you get when you have disgusting metal and flux core. And yeah, you gotta like bring you gotta bring your torch like way back and just let it just, otherwise it just explodes and blows a hole. What I really need is a fucking TIG, but let's be honest, those are expensive as shit. So like I was saying, use the existing welds that I got on here as build-up material, so that way I will actually have, you know, a solid chunk of metal to work with. So if I'm gonna blast through, it's gonna be a lot less likely to happen, especially if I line it up with the beads. And then once all that's done and all the stitches are in, this is basically gonna be a new piece, but just a bunch of little pieces stitched together. Then once that's all done, then I'll, you know, grind it down, give it a flat. Maybe have to give it another once over after that if any low spots or any holes poke through after that. But yeah, using the big bastard wheel to grind things down. And where's my, oh yeah, and then that giant hazard to clean it. Even then, I'd like to get a cup wheel so I could really get into spots like up in there where it's really crusty. This isn't rusted through yet. I don't know, maybe when I have the engine out to swap back to the one that's in the machine shop, I might really address that a little more better. But actually, that's like the wheel well, so that's not terrible. As long as it doesn't go really too far up, I guess. What do I know? But yeah, and then once the nice big plate's in, then I'm probably gonna go from the bottom side and just try to obliterate any rusty metal that I see from the bottom, because then I can you know, cut from the bottom side. I'll see what's around. I'll have fuel lines, I'll see them, the brake lines, I'll see them, I'll be able to avoid those. I'll probably be able to get those out, like I said, from the bottom. Trying to make this repair last as long as I can, because I know in like realistically like 5 years I'm probably going to be having to do this again, and at that point I might just buy OEM floor pans if they still exist at that point. But until then, I'll just have to keep doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I mean, it works. It ain't pretty, but again, it's the fucking floor. As long as it's solid. I mean, where's my ham sandwich? Solid. Like, this is, before I did that, I'd have a ball hole pretty much like this, like, yeah, like that. Hardly any effort. I was barely swinging. Oh. Get it. Alright, well, I guess the hammer's part of the car now.
guy for real?
I think he is.
Okay, got the super precise piece freaking cut out to the way we want her. Don't worry about that notch, it's just part of the cake box. But yeah, so we'll trace this out, cut her out with the coupons of sorts, and clean out the car. And yeah, slap her in place. It's probably going to be one of those today is tomorrow kind of things. Yeah, friggin' right.
Now, as you can tell, it's extremely cold here in Winnipeg. Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Canada! My God, we're known for hockey, but who would have realised that meant cold?
Alright. Not a whole lot of action footage because it's colder than frig. It's minus 25 right now. Yeah. We ran out of propane on the chooch stack. Stovepipe friggin' son of a bitch there. So what we did was we did some Texas TIG, they call it, with my flux core, because this Lincoln, even on the lowest settings, she was just blowing holes right through. So like I explained earlier, you just lay your stick down right where you want to strike your arc, and you start your arc puddle there, and as your puddle grows, you just shove the stick into the puddle, and it builds up a nice area. And yeah, don't mind all this pigeon shit, because this is on the lowest setting it would go without blowing through. So what I'm gonna do is tomorrow gonna jack up the front of the car. Whilst I'm under there, I'm gonna check out the steering, see something's got to be loose. Not quite sure because it's all new parts, but something ain't quite right. And while I'm under there, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cut out any of remaining rotten shit that's been covered from the top side. And then once that's done, then I'll crank up the old Lincoln a couple notches, and I'm gonna go over all those beads again, and I'm just gonna flow them out, get good penetration, and, you know, get it flowed out nicely so it's nice and flat, so it's proper heat. And then once that's mostly good to go, then we'll take that big sumbitch, grind her down, make it smooth, hit her with a flap disc from somewhere over there, and the next thing, what I'll have to do is, whilst I was heating and a beating, doing the old tack and whack, as you can see on here too, I've even did some shit welds in there, because that was all fucked. But as I was doing the heating and beating, oh damn it, that's where the seat mounts, son of a bitch. So I'm gonna have to get another plate, bring it in here. I'll have to try to cut this out, get the right dimensions for where the bolts go, or where the nuts go. Drill the 3 holes, weld the little nuts on the other side, and slap that piece in, and then tie it all together. But otherwise, it's that's a solid floor right there, I'll tell you what. Yeah, this is much better, much better. But probably in the future, when I decide to get an S-Back instead of an S-Mech, yeah, we'll get rid of this computer right there, so that way I can get in and do some repairs on the inner words of there, on that wheel well. I even had to go up a little bit in there, as you can see. Yeah. Had to get up in there. There's a couple holes still, but she's all globby right now, and it's, like I said, it's freaking colder, and my dink's about to fall off, boys and girls. Like, holy crap. It's cold as shit. But, yeah. We got her beat for today. We got what we wanted to get done. So, until next time, eat shit and brap on.
We're not quite as cold as Russia, but the other day it did hit in the almost the minus 50s here. I know in Russia that you saw the pictures on the internet where it hit minus 65 C, but still, here in my home province, Manitoba, it's freaking cold. It was minus 35 the other day. Yeah, I had to try to start the Dodge with 2 blowtorches. Way too dangerous to show on YouTube. No. My last cold start video was plenty. But, yeah. Made some progress on the car. So as you can tell, it's really cold in here. The stove can't keep up. The Chooch stack propane guy can't keep up. The propane tanks keep freezing. It's basically a localized heat. I may as well have a blow dryer in my pants just to try to keep warm, because that's about the only other thing I can do. But yeah, so last thing to do is just flow out those welds on the floor there, that mosaic puzzle piece looking thing. But yeah, didn't get as much work done as I wanted to this week on the Daytona, but I did make some strides, and hopefully in the next week or so, we'll have the interior all back together, and she'll be at least drivable to my standards. Anyways, if you guys like what you see, even if you don't, leave a comment down below. If you got comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, you know what I'm talking about. You got something to say? You say it to me, okay? You down there, okay? Who are you? Don't worry about that guy. Anyways, comments, suggestions, all that fun stuff down below. If you want to see more of me, even if you don't, hit subscribe. I'm worth a laugh. Come on. Nerdiest redneck you'll ever meet. Anyways, subscribe. Videos every Sunday. Links down below for probably no reason. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be any links in this one. I don't know. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Eat shit and brap on.